Hello, this project has been a long time coming. I love this leafy lace stitch that was designed by Handmade by Stacy J. Stacy is my friend. We collaborated, and when she made the stitch, I said, this is what I'll use to make the leafy lace wrap, and isn't it just gorgeous? I love the texture, I love the holes, I love the laciness of it, and then I added a double wrapped double crochet cluster. I know you want to know how to make this, so let's get started. So let's make the leafy lace wrap. We will be using Lion Brand Mandala Ombre. This is a 4-weight, recommend an eye hook, 44 yards per cake, and it's 150 grams, 5.3 ounces. To make this leafy lace wrap, this is also in the color Chi. To make this leafy lace wrap, you will need 1,200 to 1,300 yards. So 3 cakes plus a little more. If you want to shorten the border and use only 3 cakes, you are more than welcome to do that. We'll be using an eye crochet hook, an eye 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. This wrap is 80 inches long, 16.5 inches wide. Each leaf segment between the modified front post stitches is 4 inches wide, and the leaf is approximately 4 inches tall, a little shorter than 4 inches tall. The completed wrap is 80 inches long with a border. Without the border, it is 64 inches long if you don't want to make this extra border. But I do want to say the border is absolutely gorgeous. You finish off with a round of double crochets, then a treble mesh, a treble chain 1 mesh, and then this unique stitch. I'm not sure what the specific name for this stitch is, but I'm calling it double wrapped double crochet cluster. I ran into this stitch years ago. This stitch is executed in a chain 4, chain 5 arch. The stitches are under or wrapped around the chain arch, and then you place 3 double crochets under that arch, and then wrap your double crochets completely around all 3 posts to make this double wrapped double crochet cluster. So let me show you how to make this wrap. I will only do the beginning double crochet row and 1 segment of leaves, and then we will move on to the border to shorten this. But I'll be right back. Okay, so we start with a slip knot. Place that loop over your hook and slip that knot down. Now we need to chain 59. I will go off camera and finish the 59 chains and be right back. The 59 chains are finished. I will double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So here's 1, 2, 3. Double crochet right in this chain. You can use any method you would like to put the stitch in the chain. Some folks put it in the back loop. Some folks do as I do. Some folks put it underneath the top 2 loops. However you choose to do that is up to you. I will finish this and meet you at the end of the row. Okay, so I have executed 57 double crochets. Now I need to chain 2 and turn. We are at the end of row 1. Now execute a double crochet in the 1st stitch. This chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And the 2nd stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, and execute a double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we need to make a modified front post treble, and we do this so that there isn't a gap or a hole in the pattern. And how we do this is yarn over twice, go around the front of the post. Let me do that again. Yarn over twice, go around the post, this post, front to back. So I'm going in at the front, around the back, and back out the front. then yarn over, pull through. You have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now stop. Let's just ignore this for right now. And that stitch where we are executing that post, pull this back just a little bit, and you can see the top 2 loops of that double crochet. We're going to execute a double crochet under those top 2 loops. Let me define these a little bit more for you. Let me pull my... So there's a double crochet in that stitch, and this is the stitch that the post has been used for the treble. So we yarn over and we insert our hook under those top 2 loops. All right, yarn over, pull it back just a little. We can see those top 2 loops. As you can see, I went under the top 2 loops, yarn over, and just make a double crochet. So it's yarn over, pull through 2, but we're pulling through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we have just connected those 2 stitches, and that modified front post treble with a double crochet behind it closes the gap. So now let's move on to the leaf sequence. We need to execute a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And now chain 2 and skip 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. I've already yarned over. Now I'm going to execute, let me make sure, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to execute 3 double crochets in this stitch. Three double crochets. Now chain 2, skip 3. I'm going to go ahead and yarn. 1, 2, 3. I've already yarned over, and a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 2, 3, and a modified front post treble in this next stitch. Let me show you that again. Yarn over twice, go in from the front, out the back, draw up a loop. You have 4 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and stop. Now yarn over and execute a double crochet in that stitch where the post is being used or behind that treble. We have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. We have executed the first leaf segment. I need to do this 2 more times, and after I have executed those 2 more leaf segments, I will stop and show you how to finish the row. So I have finished the 3rd segment. I have 1, 2, 3 segments made. Now I finish, and I just finished my last modified front post treble. So to finish round 2, I need to double crochet in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, skipping this stitch in the last 2. But I need to show you something that I prefer to do. Instead of double crocheting in the last stitch, I put my hook down in between the last stitch and the turning chain, pull up that loop just a little bit more, and execute my last double crochet. I feel like that creates a finished edge. All right, now it's chain 2 and move on to row 3. So I've chained 2 and turned. So this is very intuitive right here. You're just basically repeating this part. So chain 2, double crochet in this first stitch, and double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and double crochet in the top of the double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. Now we need to make a modified back post treble crochet stitch. So it is executed exactly the same way, but the post or the treble is sitting on the front. So we need to go around this post, but we'll be doing it backwards. So we're going to the back. So yarn over twice, go around the post of that treble in the back, pull up a loop. You have 4 on the hook. 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, ignore those 2 loops, and then we'll execute a double crochet under the top 2 loops of this double crochet. There we go, and we just made a modified back post treble. And as you can see, the posts will be toward the front. The texture will be on the front. All right, let's move on. So we will double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. We will skip this double crochet and skip the chain 2 space, and we will chain 2 and execute a back post treble stitch around the next double crochet. So yarn over twice, go around through to the back, draw up our loop. We will have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We don't need to do anything special with that. It's not a modified stitch. Now this next stitch, this center stitch, will hold a back post treble. Then we will execute a double crochet in the top 2 loops. We will execute a double crochet in the top of that double crochet, and then we will execute a back post treble again around this post. So it will be a back post treble, a double crochet in the top 2 loops, then another back post treble, and that second back post treble will just fit right underneath that first back post treble. So I'll go very slow and show you how to do that. So yarn over twice around from the back through to the back, yarn over, pull up a loop, and we have 4 on the hook. Now yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's a back post treble. Now a double crochet in the top of that double crochet. Now another back post treble in that center stitch. Kind of go to the back and look. It goes right underneath that first back post treble. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a back post treble in the last, around the last double crochet. Okay, so you can see the beginnings of the leaf. This is the back of your work. This is the front of your work. And can you see how nicely that is coming along? All right, let me go back over that real quick. I'll just talk you through this. Here's our modified back post treble. Then 2 double crochets. We skip a double crochet, chain 2, and back post treble around the first double crochet. Then 3 stitches in this center stitch, this center double crochet. So it's a back post treble, a double crochet, and a back post treble, and then a back post treble around the last stitch, and then chain 2, skip the chain 2 space, skip this double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then a modified back post treble. And a double crochet in this stitch. There we go. Now we have finished the first sequence on the leafy lace stitch for row 3. Let me execute that 2 more times, and I will meet you at the end of the row and show you how to finish it out. So I've executed the 3 leaf sequences. This is the wrong side of the work, and I'm working on row 3. I have finished my last modified back post treble right here. Now I need to finish out the end of the row, and just as before, it's double crochet in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, double crochet, skip the chain space, double crochet in the top of the double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain space, double crochet in the next double crochet, and double crochet in this double crochet if you choose, or you can do as I do, and that is drop down in between, pull up the loop a little longer, and finish your last double crochet. It creates a smoother edge. All right, chain 2 and turn. We're heading into row 4. We've chained 2 and turned. Okay, so we are at the beginning of row 4. So just as before, we double crochet in the first stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, and then we are at the modified front post treble. And let me do that again for you. Yarn over twice, go around the post of that previous treble, leave 2 loops on the hook. Now yarn over it, go into those 2 loops right there. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now it's double crochet in the next stitch, skip this stitch, and chain 2. Now it's front post treble in these next 2 stitches. Yarn over twice, front post treble. Now we need to, around this middle stitch or this double crochet, we need to execute a front post treble, a double crochet in those 2 loops, and a front post treble all around the post of this stitch. So 1 front post treble up top and 1 will go underneath, and the double crochet in those top 2 loops. So let's execute the front post treble because we're coming in from the front. Now a double crochet in those loops, kind of shove that out of the way, double crochet. Now a front post treble around the post. It will naturally drop below. There we go. You can see those 3 stitches together. Doesn't that look neat? Now, front post treble in these next 2 stitches. Okay, that looks nice. Now chain 2, skip the chain 2 space, skip the double crochet, and 1 double crochet. Now modified front post treble. Find those 2 loops. There we go. All 3. And we have executed 1 leaf sequence. Now you've noticed we are down to, we've been decreasing, we're down to 1 stitch. Now we're going to start decreasing to make the leaf in row 5. Row 5 is where the decreases begin, and I'll show you how to do that. It's a lot of fun. You get to the end of row 5, and I'll show you how to finish row 5. It's just the same as the end of row 4, but I do want to show you how to finish that. I'm at the end of row 5, so let me finish. So it's 2 double crochets, basically a double crochet. So it's a double crochet in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the last 2 or down in that space. Now chain 2 and turn. I want to point out something. As you're making the leaf, you're expanding in stitches in the middle and then decreasing on the double crochet stitches that are on either side. Now we're going to start making the leaf smaller. We will be decreasing and using these center stitches to decrease. So then we will be adding double crochet stitches along the way. You'll see how intuitive this pattern is, but let's make a turn and begin. Row 5. So double crochet in the first 2 double crochets, chain 1, double crochet in this, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, then the modified front back post treble stitch. All right, now we execute a double crochet in this double crochet and then put a double crochet in the chain 2 space. So we're decreasing now, but yet we're expanding on this side. So now chain 2, execute a back post treble around the first 2 treble stitches. Now we are going to back post treble 3 together. These 3 stitches we will back post 3 together. Now let me show you how to do that. 1, yarn over twice, go through to the back, from the back, yarn over, pull through 2 twice, leave these 2 loops on the hook. Make a back post treble around this double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, leave the 3 loops on the hook. Your back post treble around the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We have 4 loops remaining on the hook, so we yarn over, pull through all 4. That was 3 back post treble stitches together. Now it's a back post treble and a back post treble on the next 2 stitches. Chain 2 and a double crochet in this chain space. Double crochet in this next double crochet, and then a modified back post treble around the post of this previous treble. I put a double crochet right there. And we have finished this sequence. And as you can see, the leaf is getting smaller. We expanded, now we're getting smaller, and it will be a little bit more noticeable in row 6. Let me get to the end of row 5. You know how the end works. I'm going to turn and chain and turn, and I'm going to start you on row 6 right here. I'm not going to continue to repeat all that. You know how that works. So right here, I'll join you right here at this modified front post treble on row 6. So we are beginning the leaf sequence of row 6. I spared you the beginning because I've showed that to you a few times. Going to do the modified front post treble. I will execute a double crochet in this stitch, a double crochet in this stitch, and then a double crochet right here in the chain 2 space. Then chain 2, then I will execute a front post treble in this stitch. Then I will front post treble 3 together, and that will include this stitch, and this is now 1 stitch right here, and this stitch. Let me show you how to do that. Let's start with a modified front post treble. And then the double crochet in the loop, 2 loops behind. There we go. So now it's double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, double crochet in this chain 2 space, chain 2, now front post treble. Now front post treble 3 together. These 3. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over twice. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Leave the remaining 2 on the hook. Yarn over twice. This is 1 stitch. I slide it under just like that. Pull it around. I now have 5 on the hook, 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Have 3 on the hook. Then it's yarn over, yarn over twice, front to back. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. You have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4, and that makes 1 stitch. Then front post treble on that last one, chain 2 and a double crochet in the chain 2 space. Just a second and I'll pull back and let you see the leaf. Then double crochet in the next. And then a modified front post treble. All right, let's pull back and look at this. Oh, we are just about finished with this leaf. We have 3 stitches remaining on the top of this leaf. 1, 2, 3. We executed 3 together by going around those 3 that were below. So you can see now we're starting to increase on the double crochets that are on the side as this leaf gets smaller. Let me get to the end. Let me get to this end, make a turn, and get to round 7, and I will meet you here at this modified back post, the beginning of the next leaf of row 7. I've executed row 7 to the point of the modified back post treble. So let me do that for you. There's the modified. We go around that post. Did you see that? I don't think I showed that very well. Let me yarn over twice, going around that post. There we go. Come on, loop. 2 loops remaining. Double crochet. Pull through all 3. Now, double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then execute a double crochet in this chain 2 space. Then chain 2, so you have beyond the front modified back post treble, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets and a chain 2 space. Now we need to crochet these 3 stitches together. 1, 2, 3. So back post treble. Leave those on the hook. Yarn over twice around the post of all 3. It looks like all 3, but it's really 1 stitch, but it's around that large post. 1, pull through 2 twice. Have 3 on the hook. Yarn over. I caught a loop. Hold on there. Pull through 2, pull through 2, 4 on the hook. Yarn over and close that stitch. All right, so you can see from the back we have a leaf, and from the front we have a leaf. Let's chain 2. Let's finish out this sequence. Chain 2, execute a double crochet in the chain 2 space or under. I don't go into the chain 2 space, but you can if you choose. Double crochet in the next 3. And then a modified back post treble. All right, let's turn it around and look. This is the front of your work. It makes a very nice leaf, doesn't it? This would be beautiful in a solid color. Let me get to the end of round 7 and then show you what round 8 looks like, because we will be beginning the leaf sequence again by executing 3 double crochets right in the top of this stitch. All right, let me go all the way to the end and make the turn, come back around and show you where to make those 3 double crochets. All right, we're at row 8. We do have a completed leaf, but I want to show you how to start another leaf sequence, because you're going to want to build up and make 14 sequences of leaves, 14 leaves on top of each other for this crochet wrap. So, modified front post treble, double crochet in the next 3 stitches, skip this double crochet and the chain 2, now chain 2, and 3 double crochets in the top of this stitch. Chain 2, skip this first double crochet and double crochet in the next 3, and a modified front post treble. Now, as you can see, we're starting to build another leaf sequence. So there you have it. Let's build more leaf sequences. The beginning of the row and the end of the row is always the same. Very simple. Next, I'll be showing you how to do the border with the double wrapped double crochet cluster stitches. Let's get started. And you're ready to move on to the border. And the border is simple. It is a chain 2 and turn and then double crochet all the way across, executing a double crochet in each stitch, and you will have 57 double crochets. Then you chain 1 and turn and then execute the moss or the linen stitch. Then you chain 4 and turn and execute a treble chain 1 mesh sequence. Then you will start making the double wrapped double crochet cluster. But first you have to find a place to put these double crochet clusters in, and you will do that by making chain 5 arches. And as you can see, there is a treble chain 1 skipped between each chain 5 arch. Okay, so we're going to move on to the border. We've executed 1 sequence of the leafy lace stitch. Now, if you've made the entire wrap, you will have made 14, 13, 12, however long you want your wrap to be. So this is the front. We were working on the wrong side. Whoops, I just took out a double crochet. So now I need to execute a double crochet in the last 2 stitches. And I'm going to chain 2 and turn. This is the beginning of the border. So this is row 1 of the border, and it's double crochet in each stitch and chain across. So there I've executed a double crochet in each of those first 2 double crochets. You can go into the chain if you choose, but I'm just going to go under this chain. A double crochet in this double crochet, a double crochet in under the chain, a double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, a double crochet in the modified treble post stitch, a double crochet in the next 4 double crochets. That's 2. Whoops, split my yarn. This yarn is very good not to split. That was entirely my fault. I handled myself incorrectly. So that's 4. Now when I get to the chain 2 space, I do like to go into the chain for my double crochet. So into the first chain, this helps me keep track of my stitches. Into the second chain, I want to show you what that looks like. Into that second chain, and then into that treble stitch 3 together. that makes one stitch into this stitch, and then across. So this is the first chain of that chain 2. You have to find it and work with it a little bit. And a double crochet in the next chain. I just don't want to put both of those in that spot and create a bunched area. And then we continue. Double crochet across, all the way across. So double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet in a modified stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, and 1, 2. And I will have 57 double crochets when I finish this row. Now you may hear my grandson chirping and making noise. It's summer and he's at Granny's house and he's enjoying his time here. I hope that's okay with you. Let's get back to the row. We have 57 double crochets. And as you can see, I've executed a double crochet in each stitch across. I have 3 more left to finish. All right, so let me finish these last 3 double crochet stitches. So double crochet in that chain 1, double crochet in these last 2, and I like to pop down into that space between the turning chain. Now it's chain 1 and turn. This is a very easy round. So you single crochet. So single crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. So there you have it. Single crochet, chain 1, skip that stitch, single crochet, chain 1, skip that stitch, single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch all the way across, and I'll meet you at the end of row 2. I'm at the end of row 2. I've chained 1. I'm going to skip this stitch and then single crochet in the last stitch. And chain 4 and turn. This chain 4 will count as a treble crochet. So I'm turning. Now I'm executing a treble in the chain 1 space right here. Now chain 1 and skip the single crochet and treble in the next chain 1 space. That didn't work well. Chain 1 and treble in the next chain space. And then a chain 1 and a treble in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, treble in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, treble in the next chain 1 space, all the way across. And I'll meet you at the end of the row. The end of the row, you will execute a treble in the chain 1 space, then do not chain 1, but treble in this last single crochet. And that's how you end that row. So I'm at the end of row 3. There's a chain 1 right here. Now I need to execute a treble in this chain 1 space, and then a treble in the single crochet right beside that chain 1 space. There we have that. Now we need to chain 2 and turn. Chain 2 and turn. Chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and I execute a double crochet in the first stitch and in the next stitch. Now chain 5. I'm going to skip this chain 1 space and execute a single crochet in this treble. Chain 5, skip the chain 1 space, treble, and the next chain 1 space, single crochet in this treble. Chain 5, and just as before, skip the chain 1 space, the treble, the chain 1 space, and then execute a single crochet in the next treble. And there we have chain 5 arches. This looks a little bunchy right here, but that will even out. Now let's do this all the way across. I'm at the end of row 4. I've executed all of these chain 5 arches, and I've skipped a chain and a treble between each. My last single crochet was here. Now I execute one last chain 5, and double crochet in this last treble, and double crochet in the 4th chain of that turning chain 4 that counts as a treble. All right, now we're moving on to the double wrapped double crochet cluster. So chain 2, this does not count as a stitch, and turn. Double crochet in the 1st stitch, double crochet in the next stitch. So let's execute our first double wrapped double crochet cluster in the chain 5 space. So no chain spaces, we execute 3 double crochets. Now, these 3 double crochets are all considered one post, and we're going to double crochet around those 3 double crochets, just like that. So it's very easy. You just kind of turn your stitch sideways, yarn over, and just act like you're doing a double crochet. And it makes a wrapped cluster. Doesn't that look nice? Let me do the next one for you. So it's 3 double crochets. When you get used to this stitch, you will find that you are flying. Okay, so turn it sideways just a little bit, yarn over. This is the hole. We're going to wrap around all 3. You pull this kind of taut. 1, 2, and that makes a double wrapped double crochet cluster. Let's do that one more time. And I call it a cluster because it feels a little bit like a popcorn, but it's more like a cluster. Let me get these 3 double crochets in here. And like I said, you'll get so you're just flying through this. All right, yarn over. I've got my hole. Pulled it taut, double crochet. Pulled it taut, double crochet. And isn't that a beautiful stitch? All right, so you do this all the way across the row to the end, and then you execute 2 double crochets right here at the end. Let me get to the end of row 5 and I'll show you how to turn and go into row 6. I am at the end of row 5. You can see all of these double wrapped double crochet clusters, and this stitch has a little bit of weight to it, and it feels a little bit like a popcorn, but it's not. Anyway, I am at the last double wrapped double crochet cluster. I have executed 3 double crochets. I'm going to finish this last double wrapped double crochet cluster for you. Now, no chains or anything, just go ahead and double crochet in this next to last stitch, and then double crochet. If you choose, put your hook down in between the turning chain and the double crochet, and that is how you finish row 5. And then you chain 2 and turn, and just like before, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and you execute 2 double crochets right here. A double crochet in the first stitch, a double crochet in the next stitch, and then chain 5, and then bypass the wrapped stitch and execute a single crochet between the double crochet cluster. Now, I don't go under all of the loops. I feel like with the weight of the stitch, it makes the bobbles and clusters to tip forward, so I go under the top 2 loops. Very easy, all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet
in that stitch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet between
in that stitch.
The clusters. All right, do that all the way across that is setting up for the next round of double wrap, double crochet clusters. And I'll meet you at the end of this round and we'll do one more row of double wrapped double crochet clusters. I'm at the end of row 6. I have executed all of these chain 5 arches. Now I've executed my last chain 5 arch and I don't execute a stitch right here. I just bypass that and execute a double crochet in the last 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and turn does not count as a stitch. Now this is the right side of your work where these double wrapped double crochet clusters are. So double crochet in the first 2 stitches. And a double wrapped double crochet cluster. So 3 double crochets. Now wrap. This first little space is a little hard to find, so I like to slide those first 3 over. All right, now turn slightly and execute 2 double crochets around these 3, and just as before, 3 double crochets. Keep a good tension here. Not a tight tension, but keep a good tension. Okay, one more cluster slowed down. I will hurriedly do the 3 double crochets as fast as I can. All right, I have the 3 double crochets. So I'm opening up this hole right here. Open it up, yarn over, wrap around, kind of taut, double crochet, yarn over, wrap around, kind of taut, a double crochet. Whoops, didn't get that. So there you have it. Very pretty stitch, very easy to do. Let me finish this row, then finish one more row of chain 5 arches, and then I will show you the very last edge on the border. I'll be right back. So I am ready to show you this edge picot stitch that goes onto this last row of chain 5 arches. Now, I do need to tell you that there need to be 5 rows of clusters, and you will end with a chain 5 arch. Chain 1 and turn. So you finished your 5 rows of clusters and then your last chain 5 arch. So single crochet in the first 2 double crochets. It's a chain 1 and turn, by the way. Chain 1 and turn and single crochet in the first 2 double crochets. Then single crochet 2 times.
Under the chain 5.
Then execute a picot. Let me rework that. And a picot is chain 3 and slip stitch back into that first chain. All right, now it's 2 single crochets in the arch
Under the chain 5.
and a single crochet in the single crochet. 2 single crochets, a picot, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch right back in that chain 1 space, on 2 single crochets, and a single crochet. And that is how you finish the edge on the Leafy Lace Wrap. So let me show you how to execute the second border. You will be working from the wrong side of the Leafy Lace Wrap. This is the right side, so I need to flip this over, and I'm working from the wrong side. I'll be putting my stitches in the free loop that is right there. I will make a slip knot, put the slip knot on my hook, then this is my first loop. And while the slip knot is on my hook, I will insert into the first free loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, I have 2, and then yarn over, and I have just attached with a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1, skip this stitch, and single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip this stitch, and single crochet. And then just continue to make the border just as you did on the other end. The only difference is that you're working in the free loop, you're working from the wrong side, you attach with a single crochet, and then just work the border. And then you should have... Well, what did you think of the Leafy Lace Wrap, and what did you think of this Leafy Lace stitch? I love it. I don't know if you love it, but I love it. And I love the border. It has a little bit of weight to it so that it hangs and drapes very nicely. I hope you will tell others about this unique leafy lace stitch that Stacy has designed, and I hope you'll tell others about Krissy's Over the Mountain Crochet and Crafts. I hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you'll like and subscribe to Stacy's channel. She's a good friend of mine. You won't regret a minute of watching her videos. It was good to have you on my side of the mountain. Bye.